Here is the video, guys. It's over for game developers. All their expertise and coding knowledge, that's a thing of the past. That is a thing of the past. This is actually shared to me by X-Runner. Shout out to him. He added me saying something like, coding's overrated, creativity is the currency. And now let's watch this video and you can see what's being talked about here.
Okay, so Grok 3 is unbelievable. I'm going to show you a really cool workflow of using deep search and think to build unbelievable stuff with one prompt. I just one-shotted this Grand Theft Auto clone where I can walk around, steal cars, and then drive the cars around and run over people. This was all done with Grok and deep search. This is actually pretty amazing. I've tried this out on other AIs and it didn't work. Let me show you how I did it. So this is really, really cool. This was all done in basically 2 prompts, 1 to deep search, 1 to thinking. You can do this right now, so do this along with me. These prompts were inspired from Cristiano Giardina, who did a really cool prompt just like this, but I decided to do it slightly different. Write a P5.js, so that is a gaming JavaScript framework, really easy to implement. I'll show you the website, you can put it in a second. Write a P5.js implementation of Grand Theft Auto. It must be extremely polished, and I want you to build all the sprites and assets yourself. I don't want you to import any assets. So basically what this is doing, and I use deep search for this, so you do deep search when you run this prompt. Basically what this will do is go on the internet, do a bunch of research, figure out what Grand Theft Auto is, figure out how it could build it on its own, and then come up with an entire game plan for building it. So where to put the cars, where to put the people, how the people move, how to hijack the cars, where to move them around, what the controls should be. It's just going to do a whole bunch of research on how to build this game. Then it's going to build out this entire plan on game mechanics and details and how it's all going to work. And then you follow it up with 1 more prompt, which is now create a code block with the entire correct code, please. Hit enter on that. It takes the plan that deep search just built, and you're doing that on think. So the second prompt is think. So it takes the first prompt all from deep search, then you do it in think, and you say, build me the code, and then it gives you the entire code, right? You click copy on the code.
That's it. The entire code right there.
You go to editor.p5js.org, you paste in the code, then you hit play, and you got a working game, good to go. And you go and you can just start playing the game. Whatever game, and this doesn't have to be with just Grand Theft Auto. You can think of any idea you want, right? You can do like a Mario game, a Tetris game, anything you want. Or you can even do like the ones they did in the demo where you combine 2 games. Like I wonder what would happen if I combine like Grand Theft Auto and Tetris. What would come out?
Whoa.
You can do this right now just with your Grok 3 subscription. So
sky's the limit.
Really important here, deep search and think. If you use these 2 together in the right way, where you do deep search to kind of send your agent out and do research for you and come up with a plan, and then you use think to kind of put the plan together, you can build some unbelievably powerful things. I'll put both of these prompts below.
Unbelievably
Shout out Cristiano Giardina for a lot of the inspiration there as well. This is pretty amazing. Hit the like button below if you learned anything. Hit retweet if you want to be my best.
No thanks. So this is the idea behind it. Using Grok, deep search to research it, then think, implements the code. I thought to myself, you know what? Instead of Grand Theft Auto, why not make Touhou? Why not make a Touhou clone or Touhou game? So that's what I did. I asked Grok to do research on a Touhou game, and then I had Think make it for me. So, and then put out the code, and here's what I got here. Here's what it looks like. Let me just make sure that shows up on my screen here. Yeah, that looks good. So, here is the results. We've got my character here. I can control it with WADs. It's flying. It has 3 enemies. I'm shooting out little bullets here on the screen. Boom. The bullets have collision. If I hit them, I'll die. Boss health 100, has it in the corner here. This is where where Grok screws up, because the boss is supposed to be shooting 3 different types of patterns, but it is not. It is not shooting 3 different types of patterns. It's doing nothing. But the boss health goes down as I shoot it, and stage cleared. Boom. I can also die. Let me see if I can actually die here. Could be a little hard. Oh no, I could. It's a little hard to die because there's not a lot of bullets being shot at me. So not a lot of bullets. Hey, X-Runner, good morning. We were just talking about that video you sent me with a Grok. We're showing off Grok 3's coding skills here. So anyway, like this is what it implemented. It's not quite a bullet hell, in my opinion, but it works. It functions basically. So I started like looking into the code, and I mean, I haven't coded in like 20 years here. I do have some experience with JavaScript, but not P5. Like I said, it's been 20 years. I don't remember a damn thing about it. Except like maybe like the basic logic here, like, you know, if statements, and then like, okay, it's in the brackets and that's what happens in the if statement and blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff. I have a curious idea. So like I basically almost had to kind of reverse engineer where I saw the statement, oh, this works. Let me like fiddle with the variables and see what works and what doesn't. And you can ask Grok, say like, hey, Grok, this code right here isn't working. Could you, let me see, can I pop this out more so you can see it? Let me move this to the center. Like, Grok, like this stuff's not working because it has, apparently what it did, like it has the code for, and I apologize, Deborah, or anybody that doesn't know coding, this is probably, it's almost incomprehensible to me too, if I haven't spent like 8 hours looking at it. So like these are the patterns. It puts it in like an array, and the idea right here in this update thing is that it's supposed to call these different patterns. Hey, good morning, Silver Bishop. It's supposed to call this pattern from this pattern index, and then the boss like does it. But that did not seem to work, and even after like acting Grok, hey Grok, it's not working. And it would suggest stuff like, oh yeah, it's do this and do that. And unfortunately, even when I asked like, hey, do some new stuff, it would make like new code, but like it rewrite. There's different class. There's like a class for bullets, and it would rewrite it. So like velocity, but it like replaced velocity with something else. So that meant that all the other places that like velocity is used don't work again. But it doesn't like tell you exactly like, hey, replace all of this, or like doesn't just replace the entire code for you. And maybe that's an issue with my prompting skills. Though, I mean, in my mind, AI, like, hey, it was supposed to be like able to the goal of AI is just like, hey, do this, and it does it for you. Not create more problems. More new problems for you. So, but anyway, let me show you my, this is my version after, well, I was still experimenting up to the point, so some of this stuff is a little weird. But this is my version of AI Touhou here after all my work. I don't know if the colors might be a little incomprehensible. If the blue color might be incomprehensible. This guy, I added another enemy type who shoots homing ones, and like this has got a different, the boss here has a different functions here, so like, and it does switch. We got it working here. So this is looking more like a bullet hell, and I have to like pretty intense. Oh, I love this spiral pattern. This is one of my favorite patterns here. I see, like this looks like a traditional bullet hell. I gave myself like 20 lives, so if I had 3 lives, I would have already died. It's a little bit hard to see on this It's a little hard to see on this screen. It's a little small. And the bullets are a little small. But boom, stage cleared. Hey, Ryan, good to see you, man. And that's it. So, I mean, it works. That's the thing. It works. I mean, it took me a ton of time. And, like, I had to, like, look over and start to... I had to, like, you know, look over, like, by the end of it, I kind of understood what each of these, you know, functions do. And I have to wonder if, well, I don't know, I doubt it'd be better off just, like, learning it from the ground up, having the AI actually put in these, let me try again. Let me bring this code over so visually you can see it. Not that, like, bringing all this stuff over, like it where it says, like, draw everything, and it draws the background. It, like, the collision stuff, it removes off-screen bullets. You know, it has, you know, collision detection for the enemy bullet versus the player, and the player bullets versus the boss and the enemies. But, you know, for the to add another enemy, I just, like, copy and pasted this enemy script and made, like, enemy 2 instead of enemy, which worked, surprisingly. Less code I have to write, the better. Learning code from AI is like learning from a guy who was in a country for years as an illegal immigrant. But, I mean, this code looks pretty clean, in my opinion, though I'm not a programmer, so it's not, like, complete gobbledygook. And the fact that it puts in, like, little notes like this, like, ooh, this is collision detection. This is where, you know, the player versus the enemy. The fact that it put in little notes is actually pretty nice. So I could kind of tell, like, draw, like, where it draws the UI, the player class, the, you know, enemy class. So I was able to, like, change the bullets too and the bullet speed if I wanted to. Now I, like, changed the angle to make it a little bit tighter because, of course, I ended up changing the canvas size to a more narrow canvas size, which is traditionally small. But it's actually a lot of fun to do this because you could see how different the game plays when it's a 4x3. No, yeah, as opposed to a 3x4. You know, if you know when you change the aspect ratio from horizontal to, oh god, get out of here, fake Red Hawk. Bye-bye. Yes, remove. All right. When you change that aspect ratio, how much, like, even if the patterns don't change, the gameplay changes dramatically. You know, how the bullets, like in this, how, like, the circular bullets, you know, spread, because the circular bullets have more time to spread out, so it's less congestive. And it, you know, sort of gives a chance for you know, some more gaps in the gameplay. That's the problem unfortunately with the homing bullets. They stay on screen, so, like, sometimes they'll come back on the screen, which is kind of funny. I don't particularly like it because it's like they're supposed to be gone. Like, I want stuff to, like, curve at you a little bit, but not, like, crazy amounts. I really like this pattern. It just looks great. Like, oh yeah, this is a bullet hell. But it does have the basics down, which is kind of cool. Of course, you know, it's just, you know, circles and dots. I don't know if this is I don't think this is going to replace game developers anytime soon, but it is a cool idea. And it is a game. It is a game. Is that real, Chat of Arabia? Oh, wow. You joined 23 hours ago. Okay, you're gone. It's a game, you know. It's a functional game. It has an objective. It has enemies. So, I mean, that part is pretty cool. I don't know, but I don't know exactly how this is gonna change the world. But you could kind of see, it is kind of amazing the fact that it was able to make a game, or at least, you know, the basics of a game. And if it could have gotten the boss array right the first time, then you can then it would actually have been pretty good. Of course, I'm actually really surprised that it made the canvas this size. Like, why didn't it make the canvas vertical to begin with? If it did all this research on what a SMUP is, how do you not get the aspect ratio right? Reminds me of the coding I did back at grammar school in C+. Heck yeah. It is fairly basic code, but it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. And actually kind of interesting from like a, I don't know, educational or like perspective to like change the variables and see, you know, how it changes the gameplay and the bullets. You know, like I said, I didn't spend like 8 hours messing with stuff. It was a lot of fun. Like once you get into it, it's like, oh, well, like, you know, oh, maybe I can make, you know, these enemies shoot like 3 spread bullets that home on you, and maybe I make more enemies appear or less enemies appear. I didn't get around to try and figure out how to make the enemies move. That'd be kind of cool, but it was fun. It was fun. But overall, I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm not like, whoa, I could just make my own game with AI. I think that's still a ways away. But let's move on from this and let's go to the news.